Jordan Ellis here for Local MMA. Today I'm joined by Collin Anglin, who picked up a big win and a UFC contract and the latest episode of Dana White's Contender Series. How's it going, Collin?
It's going good. Just extremely happy. Happy I had the chance to put on a show and perform well and get the contract.
Well, you've had a few days to reflect now, so is it all sinking in, and when did it sink in, and what's the aftermath been like? You know, I'm sure people are reaching out left, right, and centre for you.
Yeah, it hasn't. I don't think it's sank in yet. I'm just sometimes it's almost surreal. I feel like I'm extremely happy. But people are saying, you're a UFC fighter, you're a UFC fighter.
Oh,
different, but the support has been through the roof. I just can't even explain how amazing that's been. The amount of messages I've gotten that are just from people I've never met before saying, that, I gained a fan and that, they're really happy for me and congratulating me. It's been absolutely amazing. And I'm trying to get through each and every one of those because I really do appreciate them. So, it might take me a couple of weeks, but I'm slowly getting back to as many, as much as I can right now.
Well, that's definitely cool to have, going on for you right now. But it's obviously there's been a road to the top, and a lot of people won't have heard of you until you got to the Contender Series. So I just want to hear about your story and kind of what it's taken for you to get to this point so far.
Yeah, I grew up a wrestler. I grew up wrestling all throughout high school, and then went on to college. I didn't wrestle in college, but like my freshman year, I was driving around campus and I saw a sign on the road that said, cage fights, call this number. And so I thought it'd be funny if I did that, and I called the number, and they were like, "All right, cool, yeah, we got a fight for you, and in 2 weeks." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay," like. I called my friends, my family. I was like, "Hey, I guess I'm fighting in 2 weeks." Called my dad, asked him to be in my corner because I wasn't training at a gym or anything like that. So my dad was in my corner, and I just pretty much just wrestled this dude. I tried to stand up with him and, strike with him, but it was just, I didn't know what I was doing. So I just wrestled him for 3 rounds and got the W. I didn't start. That was when I was 18, and then and I just did that for fun. And then I didn't start seriously training until I was about 21 years old. I trained while I went to college, and I graduated college with a criminal justice degree from Michigan State University, and decided that I was going to keep pursuing this MMA thing, and so. I'd say the biggest move of my career was about 4 months ago. I moved to Denver, Colorado to train at Factory X under Coach Mark Montoya. And that's just been amazing for my career. It's been amazing for my my improvement, and it was no bad blood between me and my previous gym, Scorpion Fighting System, out of Brighton, Michigan. It was just, it was a tough decision that I made.
Cool. And on to the fight now. So obviously it was a huge stage. It was a huge platform and opportunity, and you took advantage of that. In terms of the build-up, obviously it's a bit different at the minute with, COVID going on, things like that. So how was your camp and leading up to this fight?
My camp was great. It's like I said, Factory X is such a great gym with amazing coaches and teammates there for me. Every single day I'm training with people at my weight class or around my weight class that are already in the UFC, and they're, not just in, but they're they're successful. Like Yusuf Zalal, Chris Gutierrez, Alexander Hernandez, Jonathan Martinez, just, there's just a few. And like the gym is just filled with killers. We have killers that are amateurs, not even pro yet. And they beat most of the pros I've ever even went with, So camp was great for me. COVID, we got to do some things to, meet the standards and regulations that are set. But it didn't really mess with my training too much.
Good to hear. And in terms of fight nights, of course, there was going to be no fans really in attendance anyway, Contender Series. And that's kind of the new normal now going forward. So that must have been first for you. And how did you find that whole experience?
It was weird, man. Like, I didn't think it didn't bother me during the fight, but I have to say it was one of the weirdest things walking out. Like, they're like walking in 3, 2, 1, and they're like, walk, and I open the doors and it's just like no sound. I mean, like, dead quiet. If you dropped a quarter on the other side of the room, I would have heard it. Like, it was weird. You could hear like people sniffling, people coughing, like, and it like echoed in the arena because it was just empty. And it was weird. I got in the cage, did my little circle in the cage, and next thing I know, like, he's already at the cage. Like, he already walked out. I didn't even know. I'm like, oh shit, there he is, and then like once the fight started, it didn't matter at all. I didn't even notice. But that weird time period of like walking out and then being in the cage, that was odd. That was definitely odd. But it didn't mess with my performance at all. It was just weird at first.
And the fight itself was a really fun one between you and Muhammadjon Naimov.
Yeah.
So in terms of him as an opponent, what did you expect from him going in, and how did he, kind of live up to your expectations or exceed them in the cage?
Yeah. He lived up to my expectations. He was a tough, durable guy who had some power and wasn't afraid to get in the shit. You know what I mean? Like, he was down to throw hands and go after it. He never stopped moving. He never stopped coming at me. But I continue to move forward and keep him on his heels and keep him backing up, and stuck to my game plan, and it worked out. But yeah, he's tough. I mean, shit, I was throwing everything at him in that third round and landing a lot of right hands, landed a good left hook. He just wasn't landing some tough knees. He just wasn't going down. He was like a zombie on his feet. I was like, what the hell is it going to take for this guy to go down? But I was trying.
And when it was all said and done, you went 3 rounds, weren't able to get the finish. Was you confident, first things first, that you got the decision, and then after that you were getting the UFC contract? Because it's not just about winning; it's about impressing the boss who's sitting cage side.
Right. Yeah. I knew I won. I knew I won. But like right after the fight, I wasn't even really thinking, did I get the contract? Did I get the contract? I was just like, hell yeah, I won, like just super, it was just a relief and a weight lifted off my shoulders. Just because it's been such a long camp. I was originally supposed to fight in August, like August 18th, and it got pushed to September 15th. And so it was a long and tough, grueling camp, and it was just a big weight off my shoulders, and I was super happy to win. But then, after I got my hand raised, like probably like 2 seconds later, I was like asking my coaches, hey, do you think I did enough? Do you think I did enough? and they were like, well, you got a standing ovation from Dana, so that's pretty good. But we don't know, they're like kept saying like, I don't know, things look good, but who knows? They probably didn't want to jinx me, And then when I walked by Dana, he reached out and shook my hand and said, awesome fight, and that's what Tuesdays are all about. Great job, that was awesome. And so I walked away from that thinking, okay, well, that's pretty good. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but I think that's a pretty good sign right there. So yeah, I didn't.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
For you now, what's next? Obviously, you said you've just come off a really long camp. So do you want a little break now? A little holiday, something like that, or are you straight back into training?
No, so I'm back home right now in Michigan visiting family. I'll be here for like 3 more days, and then I'm going back to Denver, and I will do like I'll start training right away, but it'll be the first week will be like probably a little slower, but then after that it's back to it. So I'll get like a week and a half of a little bit of downtime, not really though, and then it's just right back to right back to it. So
has there been any talk yet about when you will possibly be making your debut? I know at the minute people are falling out left and right, so there's chances to jump in, and as long as it's before the end of the year, I imagine you'll be quite happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to fight before the end of the year, and like I said, I'm gonna be right back at it in a week, less than a week. So I'm ready. I got no injuries. I'm good to go. So yeah, I'd love to fight at least once before the end of the year. There's been, I don't know yet as far as like what what the UFC is saying, but like to my managers and stuff like that, I'll be talking to them later today, and I'll figure that out, and we'll go from there.
Good. And now, like, the first goal's kind of on everyone's list, getting UFC. That's the primary goal for everyone. Now you've achieved that. What's the next goal for you? Where do you go from here, and how high do you set the bar for yourself?
Well, next one for me is just getting that debut out of the way, like just and winning my debut, and doing it in an exciting way. And I have a lot of goals. The highest one obviously is to be a world champion. But that's down the road a little bit. So I just want to get going. Just get going, have a successful start to my UFC career, and we'll build on that from there.
Great. Well, I can't wait to see that debut. Hopefully it comes before the end of the year. Wish you good luck with everything, and thanks for making some time for us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on.